Hi, Sonia here again, and I want to tell you about the beginning of my weight loss journey. I promised that I would talk about that one of these days, and I've gotten up enough nerve to do it. I just want to tell you straight up that when you have that kind of problem, let me back up. When you have that kind of victory and you've accomplished something so wonderful, it accentuates that you had a problem to begin with. So sometimes it's a little hard to talk about, but I want my story to help you or help your relatives or whoever's out there that needs to know that you can conquer your problems. And so I am here to tell you that as of date, I've lost 150 pounds. And yes, I said 150 pounds. So you know that if I lost 150 pounds, that means that I had a big problem. Because I only weigh I'm only 5 foot tall, and I weighed 320 pounds. So, yes, I had a problem, and that main problem was a sugar addiction. That sugar addiction was passed down to me from my dad, who was an alcoholic. It was also part of an emotional issue, a spiritual issue, and a physical issue. I was lacking some nutrients in my body, and my body was always wanting sugar. But I'm not going to blame it all on that. It is also emotional. It was also a choice. There's just so many different aspects as to why I weighed that much. But regardless of why, let me tell you what happened. I had such a huge problem that I could sit down at one setting and eat a bag of M&Ms. And I'm not talking about a little bag. I'm talking about a pound of M&Ms at one setting. And I'll tell you one story. I was headed to prayer meeting, and I stopped at the Dollar General to get me some water. And the church was about a mile away. By the time I got to the church, I had eaten a pound of M&Ms. And I didn't even realize that I had bought them because I wasn't in the store to buy them. I was there to buy water to drink during the service. So I knew I had a problem. I did not know how to fix it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wasn't really pursuing an answer. I knew that something was wrong. I knew that I needed to do something. I knew that people around me that cared about me, were nagging me and trying to get me to lose weight. And I tried a few things, but I didn't have what it took to stick with it. I just wanted that sugar and chips and dip and, everything bad for you is what I wanted to eat. And I wasn't really interested in a relationship with anybody, so that wasn't a motivator to lose weight. And I was happy the way I was, so I was happy putting my head in the sand and ignoring that I had a problem. But I did have a problem, and I wasn't happy. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way my clothes fit. I didn't like the way I felt. I couldn't walk 10 feet without my heart beating out of my chest. I'm pretty sure I had diabetes. I ignored all that. I'm pretty sure I had high blood pressure. I'd check it every once in a while. I didn't like going to the doctor, so I didn't. I was just a mess, and I chose to ignore it until one day I had heard about this minister named Clemente. And I love Clemente, but I didn't know anything about him. And May 29th, 2011, I was in my room, and I was watching Clemente on the internet. And my little grandson and I were folding clothes and singing to the music, because Clemente, he claims to be a singing, or what do they call him, the rock and roll prophet. And he is amazing. And he started preaching. And I think he was in St. Louis at the time. And I felt the presence of God come in my room like I had never felt before. And I'm not telling you that I hear the voice of God all the time, because I don't. But that time I did. And I felt like I was going forward during the altar call for the first time. And I've been a Christian for a long time. But I knew that God was speaking to me. And he told me some things about my life. And then I heard him, I'm going to try to get through this without crying, but I heard him just as plain as day say, "Sonia, do you want me to deliver you or heal you from an addiction to sugar?" And I'm crying, and I'm like, I will do anything for you, whatever you want to do. And yes, I want you to heal me of that addiction to sugar. And he said, all right, I'm going to take the desire away from you for sugar, but I want you never to eat it again in your whole life. I want you to fast sugar your whole life. And I was in the presence of God, and I didn't care what he said. His presence is so powerful, and I agreed. Yes, that's what I will do. I will not eat sugar again. And so we were done, and the huge presence lifted, and, you know, everything was back to normal, and I was hungry. And I thought, well, he said sugar. He didn't say honey. So I'm going to go to the kitchen, and I'm going to make a little peanut butter with my honey like I always made. And I made it like that, you know, because I'm human, still thinking I'm a sugarholic, thinking I'm going to cheat the system. And I couldn't eat it. It made me sick at my stomach. I did not like it at all. So for about 2 weeks, I'd go to the store, and I would get like some cereal or something off the shelf, and I would hear this small little voice in my head say, you don't do that anymore. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't. And so I lost about 40 pounds in that year, and I didn't cut anything else out but sugar. I don't worry about sugar and ketchup and that kind of stuff, but like desserts, if I eat a dessert, I eat one that has Splenda or stevia or something like that. But basically, I don't eat sugar. And a year later, in May, about, I think it was in May, I was summoned to the office at my job. And Margaret, I love Margaret. And if anybody of you know her, she's been my boss for over 10 years. And I had never been summoned to the office before. And she said, Sonia, have a seat. And she shut the door. And I thought for sure that something bad was happening. Well, she said, Sonia, are you on such and such product? Because I had been taking a different kind of protein shake. And I said, yeah. And she said, are you losing weight? And I was like, well, not really. But, you know, I didn't change my eating habits. I just took the product. And she said, well, I'd like to open a weight loss clinic. And I'd like for you to run it. But you'll need to be on the diet if you want to sell it, because I don't think you can sell something that you don't believe in, that's not working for you. And I was like, well, sure, because I thought that it was just like this other product, and that I would just have to take a different product. And I was already buying the other product, so why not buy that product? And she's my boss, and I love her, and I don't want to go against what she wants. And so I'm like, sure. I didn't have any idea what was ahead of me. So excited about something new, because I like new adventures. I went back to the office, I started digging around, and I started learning about this new ideal protein diet, and then it hit me. This is not a replacement for your protein shake. This is a diet. This is a restrictive diet. You're going to have to make some changes in your life. Just cutting out sugar isn't going to do it. They have a no-no list that's very, very long. No dairy, no fruit, no this, no that, no bread. And I was like, holy cow, what did I get myself into? I fought with myself for about 2 weeks. This is horrible. Poor me. I don't want to do this. I already told her yes. I'm not going to tell her no. And I just went on and how horrible. And I don't want to give up all this stuff. I like potato chips, and I like Diet Pop, and I like rice, and I like bread, and I like, junk. So I went to Bible study, or prayer meeting again, and my pastor said, the Lord is telling me right now that some of you are going to be walking in your destiny by the end of the year. And I felt that same presence of God that I felt in my bedroom whenever I was listening to Kim Clemente, and God did that sugar miracle for me. And I knew this weight loss journey didn't have anything to do with what I wanted. It had to do with what God wanted for me. He wanted to be able to shine through my life. And I know I couldn't get through it without shedding a few tears, because He loves me so much. And He knew I was going down a road that I shouldn't be going down. And He wanted me to be healthy And He wanted to restore my youth like He promised me so many years ago. If you watch any of the other videos, I talked about that. He wanted me to be pretty again. He wanted me to be healthy. He wanted me to be able to come to you today and tell you that if He can do a miracle for you, if He can do a miracle for me, He can do a miracle for you. So I went back to work and I had a better attitude. I'm not going to say I was perfect, because it's not easy just taking all your food that you enjoy away from your daily life. And I wasn't perfect at it. But I'm going to tell you something. May 29th, 2012, exactly 1 year to the day that He took the sugar addiction away from me, was when our shipment came in for our Ideal Protein food. And that's when the day that I started this diet. And it wasn't as easy as the sugar addiction, because God just got me started with the sugar addiction miracle. But then I had to work for it. And I'm just going to tell you the beginning of the story, because my journey is long and we're going to have to save that for another day. But yes, God is in the miracle working business. He gives you the power to overcome any problem that you have in your life. He really does, even if you're not asking for it. But even that much more when you are asking for it. And losing weight is a journey just like anything else, just like getting rid of alcoholism, getting rid of a drug addiction, any kind of addiction that you have out there. If you eat too much, if you eat too little, we can have an addiction to anything. And I'm just here to tell you that God wants you free. And freedom is amazing. And the journey and all the things that I have learned is amazing. And I don't want to forget to thank my boss, Margaret. I believe that God used her to help me to be all that I can be in this journey of weight loss. And all of the Martys are wonderful to me. And I thank God for them. And I thank God for my job. And yes, I'm going to put a little plug in. If you live around here, or even if you don't, if you want to lose weight, we can coach you. We can coach you through Skype if you don't live here. Just give me a call at 417-682-2194. And we can help you. I am a weight loss coach at the Weight Loss Clinic. And I love that part of my job. And I love to help other people to gain the same freedom that I have been given. So I better get off here. This video is getting really, really long, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll bring you some more videos that give you a little more details about this journey that I've been on. And I love you, and I'll see you next time.